Hey everyone, welcome to Sanketik live classes. In today's session, we are going to learn another very important framework concept. Okay, so in the previous class, we installed PyTest and executed our first Playwright test, right? And we executed our first Playwright test using the PyTest framework. Using PyTest framework. But today, we will understand the purpose of the pytest.ini file and learn how to create it. Pytest.ini file and learn how to create it. Okay. So in the previous class, see, yeah. So in the previous class, we learned why real-time automation projects use frameworks instead of standalone scripts. Why real-time automation projects use frameworks instead of standalone scripts. So we installed PyTest, created the tests folder, and created our first test file and executed it successfully using pytest -v-s. So here we can give pytest -v and also we can also give -s also. Okay. Okay. If you don't want to give, then you can leave it as this. Pytest -v is also fine. Okay. And as our automation framework grows, we need a central place to configure PyTest. Okay. So it is keep on going means then we need to have some structured format. Okay. And we have to a place, I mean, we need to a central place to configure the PyTest. We need a central place to configure PyTest. That's where pytest.ini comes into the picture. Okay. So first of all, today's class is about 1 second. So in the first previous class, we learned about framework, right? So what is framework? Framework is a structured way of organizing automation scripts. So and why we are using PyTest? Because PyTest is the most popular testing framework for Python automation. And what is the use of PyTest? PyTest automatically discovers and execute test cases. Automatically discovers and execute test cases. And we had also listed here the installation commands. Okay. First, we need to install PyTest. We have to use pip install PyTest. And if you want to know whether it's successfully installed or not, then we have to give the command like pytest -version. And next, pytest -v is used to execute the pytest scripts. Okay. And the code if we are written in the fifth class, I mean class 5, we simply executed by using this test pytest. Okay. Just we added this line for the uh, class 5. Then it is automatically executed in pytest. Okay. So we had also discussed about the interview point, what kind of questions may I ask, then how we can answer it. So if the asker is to why is PyTest used in automation testing, then you can say like it organizes the test cases, automatically it scores the test and execute tests efficiently. It also supports pictures and framework development. It widely used in real-time playwright projects. It widely used in real-time playwright projects. Okay. So I had given just overview of the previous class. If you want the detailed class, then please watch our previous class. Okay. Now let's us go to the today's session. See here we okay. Yeah, we have this code. We can remove this code. So yeah, today's class is about understanding pytest.ini, configure your automation framework. Understanding pytest.ini and configure your automation framework. Okay. So here we need to understand what is pytest.ini. First of all, what is pytest.ini? Okay. So what is pytest.ini? The pytest.ini is the file, is the configuration file. I mean, it is nothing but an configuration file. Okay, for the pytest. Okay, file. It is the configuration file for the pytest. Instead of writing same execution options every time in the terminal, we can configure them once inside this file. Okay, instead of writing the same execution, we can understand this thing while we are executing. Okay, till that time just listen. Okay, so the pytest.ini file is the configuration file for pytest. So the pytest.ini file is a configuration file for pytest. So as our framework grows, we will also use this file to configure markers, test paths, reporting options, okay, and many other framework settings. We can all these things like markers, report options, and test paths. We can configure all those things inside the pytest.ini. Okay, in today's class, we will create the file and add our first configuration. Okay, so for that, what we have to do is earlier, see, let's go to the VS Code. So earlier, we have created this folder, Playwright framework. Inside that, we created tests. Inside that, test dot underscore title dot py. Okay, we had created one file, that one Python file to execute our pytest. Okay, so this pytest dot catch underscore catchy and pycatchy, these things are not installed by us. It came automatically. Okay, we created only Playwright framework and also test dot underscore title dot py file. Okay, now so here we are going to create another file that is called, as we are discussing now, pytest.ini. Okay, pytest.ini. So here notice that pytest.ini is created in project root, that is Playwright framework, not inside the test test folder. Okay, it is designed, it is created under Playwright framework, not under the test, not under the test underscore detail. Okay. So let me show you whether it is created or not. See here, it is create. One second. So it is created under Playwright framework. Okay. pytest.ini. So from here, we can add our configurations in the pytest.ini file. So if you simply click on it, will open like this, or else it will automatically open the pytest.ini file. So here we have to do our coding. I mean, we have to do our configuration pytest next python underscore files equal to test underscore star.py, not pytest, only py only. Okay. Next, we are going to create. We later we can understand why these things are helpful. Why we are creating like this. Okay. Why we are giving like this. These things we can discuss. So let me write first python underscore functions equal to test underscore star. Next, add options opts. Okay. Add opts equal to hyphen v hyphen s hyphen v hyphen s. Next, test paths uh test paths equal to tests. Okay, don't worry about these things. Okay, later we can slowly understand all these things. Okay, next, last test paths only tests. Okay, then we can save this file. I mean, okay, we can save this file. So now we can see what is the each line. Okay, first of all, we had given pytest. What is this pytest? So this tells Python that this is the pytest configuration section. This is the pytest configuration section. Okay, this is to tell Python that this is the pytest configuration section. And in line 2, we had given Python underscore files, right? So what does it mean? So pytest should execute. Okay, pytest should execute only Python files whose name start with test underscore. Okay. Second. PyTest should execute only Python file whose name start with the test underscore. Okay. And then next, we had also given Python underscore functions. Okay. So inside those files, PyTest should execute only functions whose name start with the test underscore. Okay. So it is nothing but uh see, test underscore, we have given the test, yeah, here we are given test underscore, here also we are given test underscore side. So it will consider as this is the Python file, or this is the Python function. Okay, then it will consider only those kind of files, okay, to execute. Okay, next, see here, add opts equal to hyphen v hyphen s, right? So this saves our default execution options. This is to save our default execution options. Okay, from now onwards, we don't need to type hyphen v or hyphen s every time. Okay, if you give simply pytest, then it will automatically execute. Okay, how it is going to execute also we can see. Okay, so Now, instead of typing pytest -v-s, we can simply give pytest. So he see here in the terminal. Earlier we had given pytest-v or -s. So it will execute this coding. Okay. But now here we don't need to give hyphen c. Go to this terminal. We can give only simply pytest, then it will automatically execute. Just I'm just keep clicking and run. I mean, yeah, I clicked on enter, so it will automatically open the website and waiting for some time, and the website got closed. So it is also showing that one test case is passed. One test case is passed, right? With the timing. Okay. So pytest automatically reads the pytest.ini files. Pytest automatically reads pytest.ini file. Next, it applies the -v and -s options are and searches only inside test folder. So it will automatically applies -v and -s, and it will automatically searches for those kind of files, and it will execute. Okay. So see here, after giving the pytest in the terminal, it will automatically execute it. But from the program where it has taken from is it has taken the program from here. Okay, first it was open the Chrome browser, and then new page opened and with the one website name, and it has waited for some time. Next, it page the title and page dot URL. Okay, see page dot title and URL both are presented here. Both are presented here. Then, and also it has validated the title. The site title is here. We mentioned this Sanketik, right? If it is if it got the same title, then it will pass the test case. Otherwise, the test case will fail. We how we are going to validate this is by using assertions. Okay. If you have any doubts regarding this, please comment below. So okay, today we learn about what is pytest.ini, why it is used, and where to create it, how to configure it, how pytest automatically reads configuration from this file, how pytest automatically reads configuration from this file. So okay, let me write the running notes for this. So here pytest.ini is the configuration file for pytest. Configuration file for the pytest. Next, okay. Next, it stores project level pytest settings. Okay, it shows by project level pytest settings. Next, PyTest reads this file automatically during execution. PyTest reads this file automatically during execution. Okay. So sample configuration what we have done is okay. So configuration files what we configured is these things. Okay. And executed using just PyTest. Instead of PyTest -v, we just execute using PyTest. Okay. Okay. So in interview point, they may ask you a question. So they may ask like, why do we use pytest.ini? Why do we use pytest.ini? So the answer for this question is centralized pytest configuration next avoids repeating command line options. Controls test discovers. Controls test discovery. And makes these things you can understand slowly by in our upcoming session. Just please make a note of it. Okay. Just keep in mind. framework execution, consistent across the team. Okay, makes framework execution consistent. So who are going to use? I mean, anyone can use this kind of configuration. Okay, so these are the main things which we are covered in this class. Okay, today we have configured our Playwright framework using pytest.ini file, and as our framework goes, this file will become even more useful for managing execution settings. In the next class, we will learn about confidence.py and see how it helps us reuse code across multiple test cases. How it will help us reuse code across multiple test cases. Practice today's steps carefully and continue learning step by step with the Sanketik live classes. Okay. If you have any doubts, please comment below and please do like, share, and subscribe for our upcoming sessions.